Hello and welcome back to the One Hotspur YouTube channel. I am Toby from Spurs Center, and today I am joined by the wonderful Bodie from at Yids United. Yids.United. My bad. How you doing, Bodie?
I'm doing all right.
All right. Well, today we're going to be taking an in-focus look at Lucas Moura, similar to the Oliver Skip video we did a couple days back. If you want to watch that as well. And yeah, let's get right into it. So I'm going to start. I think one of Lucas's biggest strengths is his ability to get the ball from just our halves into the opposition half. So if we're kind of pinned back and we're struggling to get on the ball, I think this is where Lucas really shines. All of our players are back here in these areas, and if Højbjerg wins the ball back, just plays a short ball out to Lucas Moura. He has like this ability to run backwards, but then kind of circling around and getting forwards. And I think in this counterattacking system, yeah, exactly. This counterattacking system that Nuno's playing, it suits him really well because he gets into these areas, and then especially with Son and Bergwijn going forward, he can either play a ball into Son, or he can play a ball across to Bergwijn, or if we're already doing well in the match, and we're just kind of holding out for the win, then he can play a ball back to Dele or to Skip or to Reguilon on the other side. But yeah, what do you think about Lucas in these situations?
He definitely supplies a very good out ball. He's a top player when it comes to needing to get the ball from deep, but being heavily under pressure because he always dribbles with the ball. It always puts the defenders on edge, and when they're on edge, they give him more time, and with more time, he's able to pick out a good pass. So players like Lucas Moura, the type of players you want in a team against a side like Liverpool or Ajax in the semi-final when they were pressing as hard. That's his biggest quality because it allows him to get more time because players hold up, and when they don't give him time, he can just run through the defense. So he's unpredictable, So that's definitely what makes him as good as what he is.
Yeah, I have to say I agree. And it comes down to I think his pace and his strength on the ball. For a smaller person, he's incredibly strong on the ball, and it's like rarely do you see him getting bodied off. And I think that has to do just with his like tenacity and his drive to get.
I'd say it's more of him in the air, the way he jumps.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's he's surprisingly strong at headers, given that he's like 5'8" or 5'9". But yeah, I think just overall he's really solid in these situations. But let's get into another situation. So I think this is maybe one of his weaknesses, if you want to put it like that. When we get into the attacking third like this, he just kind of struggles, in my opinion, to do much with the ball. It seems like if we get it to him, he just plays a pass back or plays one into the middle. But what do you think about Lucas in these situations?
Well, it's a situation, but that depends on where he is on the field. Because if he's in the final third, like let me draw. Like if he's around here, that's where he struggles. But when he's any point like around this place, I think that's when he does the most damage. Because like I said before, if he has time on the ball, he can either pick a pass out to maybe Sonny or Bergwijn,
yeah,
or something else he could do is he could just take it down the line, either whip the ball in or just go for goal. So
yeah,
I think
I agree with you.
If he's given the ball under pressure here, that's where I think I believe he struggles. But anywhere from outside the final third, coming into or being just outside of it, I think that's where he's most deadly finishing.
Yeah, I think what I meant more was not like this area here, but like in these areas over here. I feel like he doesn't do as much as like getting down the byline to get across.
Oh yeah, that's because he loses some of his unpredictability by cutting off an option. Because when he's up here, he can't be in the middle, and he can't go right or left. He has to go either backwards or down, and he can't do that. so it's only giving him one option or pass.
Mm-hmm.
So it
Yeah.
makes they know to cut to guard. They know to
Mm-hmm.
guard this end. So that means
Yeah.
that he needs the option to dribble and he has to pass back. So I understand
Mm-hmm.
what you're saying, but there's not really much
Yeah.
he can do about it unless he absolutely skins the defender.
Yeah. No, I know what you're saying. And when he's playing with love Tanganga, but he's not the best offensively, so he just doesn't have like a great option for like an overlap or any combination play with like the right back. And with Dele playing on the left more of than the right, his other option is Skip, so he doesn't have like the best offensive options in that area.
I think it's less of an option. It's more the way Nuno set up for him to play. He's given him full freedom over the field. He's essentially been given this entire circle just to go wherever he wants, and for a player of he's analyzing who he's got around him and all of his options, and he's thinking, okay, well, if he's a right midfielder, we'll have him play more in the central role of the right midfield and just allow him to do what he wants from the wings. He wouldn't want him playing far out unless he was a left footer.
Yeah.
Because he's right footed, he'll want him playing more central so he can end up creating stuff from just outside the D. So
Yeah.
and I understand what you're saying. It's just I don't think it's a very good
No, I wasn't saying that like it's anything major. I was just saying like I think that's one of his weaknesses.
Oh no,
and since we're just analyzing what he's doing, but I do think one of the benefits of playing with Lucas, Son, and Bergwijn is that if Lucas cuts to the middle, Son can get out wide, and then that gives Lucas all of this space. And we saw it in the game against Man City. Our goal, wasn't involving Lucas Moura as much, but we were pinned back here, and I forget who kind of cleared it out. But then hold on, let me get all the pieces into place. But someone kind of cleared it out to Lucas, so the ball was coming this way. Son was up here, and then Lucas just flicked it on to Bergwijn, and then that left Son playing, making that run, and then Bergwijn coming up, and then playing the ball out to Son, and then send it off his magic, and then scored. But I think that shows like the benefit of the system. And that Lucas, who we were just saying is pretty strong on the ball and pretty strong in the air, he can fill into that almost false nine role. Not for like an entire match, but for long enough to like make do in a situation where we're playing with three wingers up top. But I think that's something that if we see this run through start again against Wolves on Sunday or tomorrow, depending on when this video comes out. And that's something we could be seeing a lot of. But what do you think about just Lucas's ability to play those types of passes that we saw over here, and his ability to play in a false nine kind of role?
It's not his strongest. It's not what it's most suited to him, but it's definitely like we've seen it before. He played in a false nine. Anytime. See, this is one thing I've noticed. Anytime Harry Kane's not playing, he's filling in for the false nine. And what I've noticed is when he's playing, when Nick Kane's not playing, he seems to be a different type of player. Like he played so well through the Champions League campaign and any other games that was played. He was our star man at that time.
Yeah.
And he was playing in a false nine, no Kane. It was just him either taking the ball from the midfield right here all the way down, or playing a pass to Son or whoever's on the left. Because that's what it was. It was a diamond with him and Son up top, or was a full free.
Yeah.
And when he was allowed full creativity and mobility all over the pitch, that's when he was really doing damage. And you could argue to say, with Harry Kane being in the squad, it feels like everyone relies on him too much, and they're not able to express themselves because there's been a set out tactic to where they pass the ball to Kane and hope he does something. But when Kane's not Kane's not in, everyone's playing more independently. They're playing like a squad, and they're actually passing
Mhm.
the ball, and they've set
Yeah.
tactics that works for everyone and not just Kane. And that's the whole debate over selling Kane, because
Mhm.
players like Kane needs this, like he's very good all around. We know this, but he needs service from people so he can do whatever he needs. But he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't suit the tactics, or maybe we just don't have a good enough team to support him while um helping ourselves, if that makes sense. Which is why he would
Yeah.
do so well in the city, or
Mhm.
go abroad,
Mhm.
where he could get more time. But
Yeah.
I feel, personally, I think if you get the right money for Kane, um, Lucas could be the one to fill in for him when he goes. We've seen it. We've seen him do it already. So who's to say he
Yeah.
can't do it again? And
Mhm.
that game versus City, where he just absolutely shocked the City defense. That was definitely something that clicked in my head. The thought, okay, you know what?
Mhm.
Maybe we shouldn't be that worried if he goes.
Mhm.
Obviously I don't want him to go, but if he does,
Yeah.
and
And
it
I
goes
think,
to the right money, then I won't be upset,
yeah,
especially with how well
I
some of the
completely
players have been
agree.
playing.
Yeah. And I think one of the benefits to playing without Harry Kane is the pace that we get up front, especially if we're playing in this counterattacking system. Kane is an exceptional player. I'm not taking anything away from him. But if you have a player like Son making like a run through that Lucas can find, and then Bergwijn, who's also quite pacey, getting into the box, then that's a connection that can be made. Whereas, with Kane,
Yeah.
he'd be kind of just moving out into this kind of area to get the ball from Lucas, and then
Well,
maybe playing like a 1-2 with him. But
this is why this is benefiting us more than having Kane on the side, because Kane slows the play down a lot.
yeah,
But
yeah.
and Premier League, it's so fast paced. He does such a good job at slowing it, but at the same
Mhm.
time, we've been playing too slow in the league, and adding that
Yeah.
amount of up front with Son, Lucas, and Bergwijn among
Mhm.
some of the quickest players in the Prem already, and that's our
Yeah.
front three. And with Lucas playing the way he was, and Bergwijn starting to get confidence, and Sonny on top of his game, maybe it's the best. Maybe it's the best bet, especially if you have a solid back line to support them, and then they can go up and work their magic. Because realistically, while we didn't score we only scored the one goal, we looked like a threat every single time we had the ball. So
Mhm.
maybe it's a sign of things to come. Personally, I was disappointed with Thursday's game, but we didn't play any of the front three, to be honest, did we? And then we also
Yeah.
played a pretty bad setup. I've never
Mhm.
rated the back five.
Yeah.
And I feel like the only reason he played the back five was so he could try and rotate enough, and while
Mhm.
also getting Romero his debut.
Yeah. We'll
I
get
don't.
in more detail in that game in our podcast that we'll be recording tomorrow. But getting back onto on Lucas, is there anything else you want to talk about with him?
Um, no, not real. There's nothing specific unless you mention a topic, and then it
Mhm.
clicks. And but
Yeah. Um,
it,
well, I
it,
think we've covered a lot of it. I think just the last thing I was going to say is that pretty much what we've been saying this entire time is just the danger of Lucas, who, when he gets like those kind of roundabout runs and gets in the middle, uh, you have players like Son and like Bergwijn getting forward, and he can just keep going and then lay it off for Son, and Son plays it across, and then playing Lucas or something like that. But yeah, I think it's just quite dangerous that we what we have set up right now. But thank you so much for watching. We appreciate all of you. Remember to follow us on Twitter and on Insta. It's at One Hotspur Pod. Um, follow Bodie at yids.united. Remember to like and subscribe. We're trying to get to 300 in the next few weeks. So yeah, we appreciate all your support, and we will catch you in the next one. Come on, you Spurs.